I'm holding court, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down?
I didn't even notice that he messaged me till like 2 days later. I woke up like, take N9ne in my DM. Like he was like liking my shit, and then I went to the DM. He had hit me. So now I'm thinking like, alright, how do I leverage this, or like what's next? How do I cultivate this relationship?
Why ain't I see you round back when I was down?
What's up, world? It's your boy Big Court of the Holding Court podcast, and I'm tapping in again one more again, and I'm still down here in the ATL. Now today I'm doing something a little bit different. You know, as y'all see, I have this gentleman sitting to my, I guess it would be my right or my left on the camera, right? Got the homie Damo, who also has an amazing platform, indelibly marked. And this is my hometown homeboy from Kansas City, Missouri. So you're gonna sit in with me on this one. So off top, I want y'all guys to go to I'mBigCourt.com for legacy builder. My daughter ain't here to help me out. Yeah, you see?
Don't know it.
Go to I'mBigCourt.com, tap in with my legacy builder community, where we talk mindset strategies and monetizing social media. Speaking of monetizing social media, we have I'm gonna say somewhat of a guru of social media, somewhat of the sorts.
I'll take that.
You take that?
I'll take that.
Okay. but man, this guy, he's an entrepreneur, one of the premier rappers out of Kansas City, and overall just intelligent dude. But I want to introduce the homie Dewey da Don.
It's the Don. What's good, Big Court?
What's good, bro?
Man, finally, you know what I mean? Got this. Got the
a
whole
chance to
court.
sit down.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Finally.
you here.
Yeah,
like,
for
mama,
sure.
I made it.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming, especially last minute, brother.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm down here in the A. I'm in your hood, you know what I mean? But this is historical right here, because we got the town in here, you know what I mean?
ATL,
yeah. So we in the ATL. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Damo from Kansas City, Missouri. Unfortunately, you from Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh, don't do me like that. Wind down county, baby. You already know it. You already know it all day.
But we always fail though. KCK, KCMO. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, I'll tell y'all something funny, and I said this before. As much shit as I give Kansas, nigga. So when I was doing my I think I was doing my TSA pre-check, and you got to submit all your shit, where you was born and all that, and I kept putting in Kansas City, Missouri, and it kept getting rejected. I was like, what the fuck? I'm from Kansas, It didn't dawn on me. That's what's on my birth certificate is Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah, nigga.
I was born in KU. You know
What's up, nigga? 913, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? So technically, I'm a Kansas nigga. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it is.
And all my family, all my mother's side of the family is from Kansas, from Wyandotte. So.
Yeah, man, it's always funny as hell trying to explain to folks that's out of town like the difference, because they just lump all that shit in one. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I know when somebody really know that, when they be like, "You from Kansas or Missouri?" I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I'm impressed when I do that. I be impressed. I'm like, oh, you know the difference.
That part.
Because what pissed me off is because I'll specifically tell people, they be like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Kansas City, Missouri," but at this point, LA, Kansas City, Missouri. Okay. So shit, what be going on in Kansas? Like, shit, I don't know.
It seems like they always put Kansas first, too.
Yeah, right.
Like they don't even know about Missouri.
That's crazy.
I will give y'all that. They always put y'all first. Like they put Kansas
right. That part.
Forget the Chiefs.
Right. That shit crazy. But anyway, so you grew up KCK.
Yep.
All right, born and raised.
30 block. Yep.
Okay, 30 block.
30th and Brown.
Okay.
I was from 31st in Cleveland, 30th and Brown. You already kind of know what it's like growing up in Kansas, but for me, I was exposed to two different extreme dynamics within my household between my father's side of the family and my mother's side. That's why I always tell people to understand the person that sit before you. You got to understand the two halves to make the whole. So my father's side, my dad was a drug kingpin. You feel me? Charlie Hustle. So, growing up, I was exposed to a lot. It changed my perception of reality, as well as it just kind of like made me grow up a little faster. You know what I'm saying? Seeing my dad with 18 wheelers full of pounds of weed, cooking up work, niggas bringing in bloody chops and niggas, left and right. But I always tell people too, like, God doesn't always place people in your life to be a positive example. Sometimes he shows you what not to do. But being a young boy, you know, I'm gonna look up to the male role models in my life. But from my father's side of my family, I get my charisma, my ambition, my hustle, my drive. On the flip side of that, I watched my mama work 3 jobs to take care of me and my little brother. You know what I'm saying? My mom wouldn't even have enough time to sometimes change clothes in between her jobs. She plopped down on the couch, get up 30 minutes, and she gone. You feel me? And my mom used to come home and she would take my hands and rub them on top of her hands and let me feel the calluses on her hands. You feel me? And she would say, "These are the hands of a working woman." You feel me? Be like me, don't be like your dad. But you know, always was in between the two. My mama gave me ethics, morals, and civility, showed me how to be hard working. That's why I've always had some type of job in some type of capacity since I was 15 years old. But then from my father's side, I knew that wouldn't be enough. So I always dibbled and dabbled. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of my foundation as far as me and my life growing up in Kansas City.
I'm curious, what came of your dad with him? Still
Man.
living or
Yeah,
free?
man. Yeah, he free now, man. My dad been in and out of jail my whole life. I done seen him from trash bags full of money, 2.5 million, so much money he didn't know how to spend it, to the drop off. I done seen, you know, him buying cars for folks, and when he was in there, you know, I'm the one sending him to Western Union. But he good. He out now. He in good spirits, but you know, that fall be heavy, bro. And then it's hard trying to get back reacclimated into society and struggling with the idea of who you want to be versus who you was versus who you are. That shit is real. You feel me? So it's like, but you know, I respect and I love my dad. It's just I feel like as I grew into a man, I really had to accept other positive examples of what to really be like or try to emulate or learn from to break the generational curses within like my family and really just learning what a man is, bro. And I feel like no excuse, a man is gonna do what's best for his family. And a lot of times that's being there. Because nigga, we can ball out. You could be up today, down tomorrow, but time is irreplaceable, it's irrefutable, and it's an investment that once you spend it, you can get a return on it, but you never get that time back. You feel me? So it's like me having 3 girls, I know that more importantly, yeah, my dad a rapper, he cool, he entrepreneur. They just want me there.
Yeah.
To play on the VR with them, to play roadblocks and you know, the things that it's quality time to them. I feel like sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as parents to show up and do this and not knowing they looking at us like we already bigger than life just by being there. So, yeah, but he's still out here around.
From where you sit right now, if you looking back at you as a kid, would you say you had a regular childhood?
Fuck no.
What was why would you say it was different?
I was overexposed, like, bro, I be trying not to like be like getting too deep with it, but like, bro, from everything from like, but see, my mama growing up, she thought putting me in private school. I was in private school, bro, from kindergarten to 5th grade. She thought so I have a heavy religious background too. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was young, I used to want to be a preacher. You know what I'm saying? But this was before I started hanging around my pops because my mom didn't let me hang around my dad till my first recollection or memory of my hanging with my dad was like, you know. But she thought that would counterbalance the fact that my dad was a dope dealer. But bro, when I started hanging around my dad, like it opened up a whole new world to me. Cause my mom, it was like more sheltered, reserved, and you know, I just wanted to make my mama proud type shit. You know what I'm saying? So stay into the church, I'm into the church. Woo woo. But like being around my dad and you know, shit, bro, niggas is literally cooking dope, seeing motherfuckers being kidnapped. You know, I remember one time, bro, I'm in there trying to read. I'm trying to like, you remember we used to get Scholastic books?
Yeah.
And I remember, bro, I'm in one of my dad's and his people's spots. My dad watching me. And I'm just trying to, you know, mark out my little Scholastic what I want, bro. And I go back there, bro. They got a nigga duct taped up to a chair, pistol whipping him because the nigga stole a pack and stole some money. Fucked it up. And then they were still cool after that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, or just seeing a lot of different things, bro, you know, and it just kind of like changed it became regular to me.
Yeah.
So even then, I went through different like phases of culture shock. So like even like when I came out of private school and went to public school, that just enhanced everything because my dad was also, for me, he was big on do as I say, not as I do. So all my older cousins and little cousins, they could smoke weed and sell with the whoop. Nigga, you my son, you bet not. You know what I'm talking about? So most of the stuff that I really got into is when I got into middle school and I found out it was other niggas like me. Because in private school, I was smart and I really liked the benefit of the education that I got because the shit that I learned there was nothing like what they was, you know what I'm saying? Public school was a breeze for me because I was already doing calculus and all this other shit. But it was hard for me and they labeled me a troubled child like there. But it was really, bro, I was always like one of the only few black people at the school. And it was hard for me to articulate to my mom, like I'm dealing with racism because I didn't know how to explain it like that. You know, like when I'm going to go play baseball, the white boy won't pitch me the ball. So yeah, when my cousin went up there and pitched me the ball, I let the bat go and it hit the white boy in the head. Yeah, I did that shit on purpose, but I couldn't tell like they fucking with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then coming out here, that was another piece of culture shock because growing up, all the successful black folks I knew was dope dealers.
Right.
Mostly. So then coming out here and I'm seeing lawyers, doctors, I'm seeing entrepreneurs, people who are on the boards of Emory and Wood. Each phase of my life, I had a different perspective of the scope of growth, essentially. But it started.
I was gonna say, I'm curious. My bad, not to
No,
cut
you
you off. So I noticed, like, you know, me being from the Missouri side, and I think I'm about 10 plus years, I think, older than you too. But in my day, in the '90s, there wasn't many red rags. You know what I mean? Like they were sprinkled here and there, either on both sides.
Right.
But I know around early 2000, you know, it started to. I don't know if it became fashionable or whatever. But I'm curious, where did your blood affiliation? I'm gonna say affiliation come from?
So my uncle, so in my family, it was always split. So like my uncle West Dog and my pops and a few of my other cousins like Samson. I don't know if you're familiar with Samson England. Used to call him Ramson Menace. So they was all bloods. But my cousins and my dad's brothers, them like Keith them, they was all Crips. So I always was with my dad, with my uncles, and my older cousins is the ones that put me on 30 block mom. You know what I'm saying? That's how my shit came in. Now, where I heard they shit came in is they was fucking with niggas from the West Coast. And my dad started getting money with these niggas. They set up, it was basically a bridge now. And now the culture is integrated.
Yep, that's exactly what happened
But
on the Missouri side.
But see, with them, my perception, and this is why it's like I've always took my affiliation with a hustler mentality because all the bloods I seen was getting money. It wasn't even necessary. You feel
Even
me?
in the '90s, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The Crips was the steppers, but the Bloods always had the box Chevys, the Dayton's, the jewelry, the drip, like they was
Hustlers,
always
bro.
fly. Yeah,
Players.
That's a fact. That's
like,
a fact.
And that's the biggest thing, and that's what attracted me to my dad and my uncles. They was some getting money player ass niggas, and everybody who they fuck with got money.
I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, they used to say Crips was dusty. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the you know Keyways, but that's what they said in Kansas City. You know what I mean?
That's real.
And that's what they used to say. And don't get me wrong, it was some blue rags getting money, but you know, in totality, because in Kansas City, the Bloods were so outnumbered. I mean, grossly outnumbered. They outnumbered anyway, but I'm saying grossly outnumbered. But the few that I remember, man, they was on it. You know what I mean?
And that's why, like me and my little gang, whatever, 30 block, we was known for getting money too, and we was proud to have that type of moniker. You know what I'm saying? Because that used to be the only thing that niggas from Missouri would give up to us Kansas niggas was, bro, them niggas is hustlers, though. Them niggas is really about their bread. And that was always instilled into me more than the violence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I mean, niggas got down, did what you had to do, but with me, my focus was always money, bro. All that other shit kind of get in the way.
What was your musical influences at the time?
Shit, my first couple cassettes was Trick Daddy and Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Damn.
So like, but Bone Thugs and Harmony to this day, bro. Like I'm a fucking fanatic,
Yeah,
bro. Like I
they're
swear
my
to God,
brothers.
bro.
They're my brothers.
Bro, we used to, bro. I used to print out the lyrics to they shit, memorize it, and like be challenging everybody in the school. Like I bet y'all don't know it, like I know it.
Yeah.
But so I went from them, and then I feel like as I was coming up in middle school, I got more so into like the Texas movement. So
Yeah.
Chameleonaire,
Yeah.
Paul Wall, Slim Thug,
Yeah.
Zero, Big Pokey. I was into
Yeah.
the screw shit. And then later on 2000s, I got more so into like the Texas niggas was on metaphors, but then I was like on the Lil Wayne, the Joel Santanas and shit like that. But really, I didn't get into like hustle music later into my life. Like as I became more of an adult,
Yeah.
that
Right.
shit just
Nah,
clicked.
that's a fact. It becomes more relevant to your life. I tell people that all the time. Like, you know, Rick Ross became more appealing to me at the stage of life that I'm at,
That nigga
opposed
still
to.
top
Don't get
five.
me wrong. I love NBA YoungBoy,
Right.
but that's a vibe for the gym.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That
Correct.
ain't really when I'm riding around to it where my mind is.
Right.
But Rick Ross, yeah, this is I can hop on a private jet. I can go hop in my shit. You know what I mean? And do
It
shit
makes
like
you
that.
feel empowered to get some money. You know what I
It
mean?
makes you
Like,
feel
what am I doing?
empowered.
You
Yeah.
feel me? Like,
Yeah.
Who was the first one that like flip your mind though? Once you heard him talking that hustle stuff, really had you like, oh, I gotta switch it up.
As far as music,
Yeah,
I feel like for me, the biggest influence, because I would say revolutionary wise, it was Tupac. I forgot to throw him out there. But when I say somebody who really embodied everything that I wanted, and I hate this because people compare me to this nigga all the
I'm
time.
already
And
knowing.
I've been
I'm
on
already
him.
knowing where
I was on
you
this
going
nigga,
with it.
bro, since
Because
before he
I
even got
told you that.
signed with
Bro,
the
I
hustle of the
told
house
you.
shit.
Go ahead though. I told
Nipsey
you.
Hussle,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
From the
You embody
music
Nipsey
and the
Hussle, though,
message.
bro. Yeah.
you
That-
said you hate it?
No, I said the music and the message aligns as far as like I feel like inside the music and outside of the music, I
Yeah.
like what he stands for and what he
Right.
represents progression
Yep.
and kind of building from within.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Versus getting all your help externally. Nah,
Yeah.
let's do that shit right here, man.
Yeah.
And you ain't gotta run from your past or who you are, but you can still be representing something bigger than yourself. That's where niggas get shit twisted because it's like all day we box motherfuckers in, but when you box people in, you're limiting their capabilities based upon what you see versus what can be. So you feel me? I feel like Nipsey Hussle broke down a lot of barriers.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah,
they hit
you.
me with that shit all
Yeah,
day,
nah,
every day
you
on the
definitely
net.
have a Nipsey feel and vibe about you. Because when I first came across your shit, I was like, "Damn, this nigga from Kansas." You know what I mean? Like it was such a Nipsey kind of West Coast vibe. You know what I mean? But real quick, you said Bone Thugs and Harmony. Who was your favorite Bone Thug?
Ooh, it's gonna be between Busy Bone and Flesh and Bone.
Okay.
But see, it's all for different reasons. Stylistically, and like sonically busy, but like technically crazy is the coldest one when it comes to bars. And he's been one that can adapt his flow throughout time and all his collabs go crazy. You feel me? Like
That's right.
every last one.
That's right.
But Flesh and Bone, I felt like was a sleeper one for me. And I used to like run that nigga. I remember sorry, got this shit off LimeWire, but I remember boy, I used to play that one that he had with him and Run from
his first one, Thugs, Humbly United.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my shit. But nah, like I love all them niggas for different reasons.
Yeah.
But nah, bro. To this day, like can't nobody tell me shit about Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro.
I feel like people treated Flesh like the White Ranger though. They always wanted him to pop
Bro, he
up.
was
They
the
out-
cheat
and he was-
code, bro.
yeah,
I
they
swear,
treated him like that.
because he was in jail like
Yep.
earlier on. So
Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
we got him and then we didn't. So it's
Yeah.
like anytime you
Yeah.
hear it, it's like, ooh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, Flesh was hard. Flesh was hard.
and that Crossroads remix, like his verse on there, I'm like, why didn't y'all keep this shit on here, bro? Like, Flesh
Yeah.
is one of my faves though.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie Stat. Yeah. So who were some of your local influences?
Rich the Factor, of course, but I can't even hold you. I got on Rich the Factor, I feel like late too, because it was niggas in high school that was trying to tell me, oh, Rich the Factor, but I'm on Lil Wayne, so I'm like, But locally, now I would say, yeah, definitely Rich, Tech, from a both of them from a stylistic standpoint and a business standpoint. Fat Tone was cool, but I can't never say like I was just super on tone. Like I can't stunt. It's a Mexican group I used to fuck with, Quick Cash, out of Kansas City.
Mm.
I like them a lot. Matt Marlin, I can't lie. Like I feel like a lot of niggas would sleep on Matt Marlin and his movement, but from a branding perspective, like that was one of the first people I would see from start to finish. This nigga got a rap van. He had the Mad Bags. He had his t-shirts. Like he was pushing this shit like nigga mid 2000s heavy, and he took us on our first tour, and we got to like open up for him and Bone Crusher out there in Junction City and shit. So locally,
He from the Kansas side? Okay, I
yeah,
never
Matt
heard of
Marlin
him.
from the
Never.
913. Yup,
Okay,
Matt
never heard of
Marlin.
him.
I'm trying to think who else. But I mean, outside of that, you know, the I would say coming up, those was probably my influences, but
Yeah.
I really rap with my homies, bro. Like my boy Casanova, he the one that really taught me how to rap. I've been rapping and making mixtapes and selling them since I was 15.
Mm.
So, you know, a lot of my biggest influences was the niggas that was around me that was rapping, and I'm seeing what they doing, and you know, cause I was terrible at first, bro. Like I'm living proof of like, bro, if you stick with anything
Nigga
on
said I was
100,000
terrible.
hours, bro,
We was all terrible,
I
bro.
listen to that
We was
shit now.
all Hey,
Cringe. I'm
Craig,
like,
hey, listen, man. I got albums that certain websites, bro, the 90s shit, and they post it and they be, oh man, we need, and I'm like, oh my God, turn that shit off the fuck. And then you be like, what was I thinking? I thought I was killing shit.
we
You
gonna
know
make it
what
out the
I'm
basement with this shit.
Yeah, my first group album that we put out, and then it's the thing with me, nigga. I'm practicing in front of a lot of people because
Right.
I never put out a local album. I always had distribution. So my first album shipped like 20,000.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, I hadn't even refined or found my voice. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I was like 17, sounding like I was 12. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
It takes time,
it
bro.
do.
Especially with this music
It do.
shit and getting,
Yeah.
like you said, your sound and then getting the branding too, like making sure like everything is packaged. That was my biggest struggle because I started off in a group.
Yeah, me too.
And then me and my mans, we decided in order to strengthen both of our brands individually, we should probably go solo for a while. And that's when we started. And that's when my shit's kind of like, because it just made it easier to step into myself.
I want to ask, go ahead, Damo.
What started helping design your flow though? Like when you started feeling comfortable with it.
Oh shit, the nigga always had flow. Now, in the sense of like, because I listen to a lot of different artists too. So like I was understanding, see, because me, I'm a technical person. So like that's why I love writing, because like the flow switch ups and the cadences and like how you play with syllables and shit. So like me, I might do, instead of like a boom, 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 like a standard 16, I might, my starting word and my ending word is the fucking bar or whatever. But in between there, I got 2 or other 3 words that ping off of that. And that's when you start rhythmically and sonically, you're playing with people's ears. So like once you understand certain shit like that, like me, I can't just write some shit and I'm reciting and I know it's not in the fucking pocket. Or sometimes I'll be like, I'm in the pocket too long. What can I do to excite it again? Or woo the woo. So like, I like the technical aspect of writing because I'm like, if it doesn't excite me, I know it ain't gonna excite nobody else. So I always kind of start with that, and just knowing like,
so song structure. Yeah,
it's like telling a story. Like even in the books, you know, you got the introduction, you got the woo the woo, the rise to the climax, and then it comes to an end. I feel like you compose music in the same fucking way. It's you know, you want to paint
that's
that
dope
picture.
that you know that.
That's tough.
That's dope that you know that. Yeah. So I'm gonna get a little controversial now.
For sure.
So you mentioned Tech and Rich.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always this debate.
He see it.
He see it. You know what I mean? There's always this debate of who is king of Kansas City. Now, this is my, and I'm asking you the question. Now, music wise, that's subjective. You know what I mean? Everybody gonna have their taste.
Right. Let's break down the criteria.
The criteria.
Yeah.
Exactly. So who do you think is the king of Kansas City and why between those two?
So don't say this is a cop out, but I feel like they both the kings of Kansas City for different reasons. So when it comes to underground, when it comes to super independent, straight out the mud, little to no partnerships, like I know this nigga Rich pulled up to the label and pulled off because he wasn't fucking with it type shit. I think that Rich got that. But I feel like with that viewpoint, it limits what your success could potentially be because you are comfortable with the circumference that you've created. You are the underground king. Will you be played on radio, internationally, domestically, get a movie sync deal? Probably not. Now, Tech is just more so of an icon now. Like, you can't take nothing away from a nigga that's got features with Kendrick, fucking Lil Wayne, and some of that ain't even them jumping on his shit. They're asking him to get on his shit.
Right.
But I feel like, but his audience is different. And his audience shows up differently and they pay differently. And I think that that in itself is a different thing. But I feel like in a lot of ways, they both wish probably that they had a little of what the other one had. I feel like Tech be want more of the streets a little bit with that success. And I think Rich would love to scale his business to a higher volume of numbers. Cause like even like we go to a Rich to factor Spotify. Even though he might be hovering between like 20 to 30,000 monthly listeners, but that's just only one metric. But that nigga can drop an album and literally still sell the fucking CD. You know what I'm talking about? And people are still requesting, looking for him. He can go to a show, sell it out. So,
but I love what you said and you answered it perfectly. For me, that was always kind of I took, I'm not gonna say I took umbrage with, but I always felt like Rich didn't scale like he could.
correct.
There was a time where I felt like that window was open where Rich could have literally got a budget from a major. You know what I'm saying?
They said they walked him to the door.
I believe it. I believe it. And Rich don't want to have no parts of the industry. You know what I'm saying? But I always thought that was kind of a, like you said, short-sighted, way of thinking. You know what I mean? Because then that could have created a movement, because, let me see. And I'm not saying speaking for me, but just the consensus of the city, that's what they say Strange hasn't done, which I disagree because most of the rappers that they've had are from Kansas City.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
But maybe they're trying to scale or put those rappers in front of, like you said, a different audience. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I don't know, it just didn't stick like that. Whereas maybe if Rich had the infrastructure that Tech had and the backing and take those same street rappers to his audience, maybe it would have, you know what I'm saying, connected a little bit differently.
It would have probably sustained a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
and that's no shade to either one, just kind of, working through it. You know what I mean?
Because they both successful in their own right. And I think that it's easier also, too, from us on the outside looking in versus literally being in their shoes to determine their value proposition on what they're doing.
Exactly.
But it is a fun debate.
Yeah.
But I think, like, the next debate that I want to see is like, okay, so who's the 2 and the 4 niggas under them? Because
that's a fact.
It's been these 2 niggas for the long time.
It's been these 2 niggas.
Bro,
that's exactly what I said.
Like, they got it. You know what I'm saying?
So listen, every time we get on that conversation, I start saying the same thing within the last couple of years. I'm like, okay, cool, Rich and Tech. Who's next? Who else are we gonna talk about?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Who is the budding young artist? It gets silent. Cause when I say who are the dope young niggas that's bubbling, that's get buzz in the city under 25, 21,
now
does anyone know?
That does get shaky. You gotta be heavily deep into the young life movement to understand that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, me and LB be having these conversations, and LB be telling me about the little young niggas.
Yeah.
Because that shit.
But why we don't see them? Cause social media, like, don't get me wrong, I see 2 times, shout out to 2 times. Kansas niggas be doing their thing. I like 2 times. I'm trying to think of who else. I can't, and I don't know. He may be just under 30, or I think somewhere around
I
there.
think he's still even maybe in my same age range. I
Okay.
just think that it's just different bubbles.
Mhm.
Like if we was like, or just like a Facebook group, I just feel like we all in one group and
Yeah.
them all them other like because when you say young niggas, because I couldn't even name besides like damn I don't even know like FTB Bino is a name I've heard. Because when I think young niggas, I'm trying to think of like what niggas is younger than me.
Yeah.
But it's like I be amongst my peer group.
Yeah.
And we all the same fucking age. You know what I'm saying? But then motherfuckers call us the young ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nigga,
Y'all are the young ones to us.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
So if y'all are the young ones, is there anybody within y'all group that can be in that debate of the next rich?
all of us, nigga. Nigga, Rob Lowe the Star,
Yeah.
Miss Kush, Dewey da Don, motherfucking who else is making noise like that? Miss Kush, my nigga Hood Nizzle, Nova Kane, Brandocious, Sully 4Q,
Sully 4Q.
Casey
Casey
Young
Young
Boss.
Boss. Yeah.
But if it's two, who would the city be arguing? Who would the people be arguing? Like we arguing Rich and Tech. If there was two, like at the top, who would it be?
All right. So I can tell you the city and I can tell you my perspective.
Yeah,
From the city standpoint, I'm thinking the two they would say is Casey Young Boss and Rob Lowe the Star.
Okay.
Okay. Good choices.
I
Good
think
choices.
that would be the city consensus. Me just being strictly analytical,
Yeah.
I would say next up is me and Sully, 4Q. We've been holding the most numbers consistently over a period of time.
I have to throw Herb the Phenom in there.
And Irv.
Herb the Phenom.
Herb the Phenom. And
Yeah.
I'm mad that I forgot about Herb because
Mhm.
Herb been doing numbers too for a long time consistently. And so I would say 3. I would throw Herb in there because now we're talking about people with actual homegrown audiences outside of the city.
Right.
Because
Right.
the numbers are for one, I be using the same backend software that like labels and A&Rs use as far as analytics. When I tell you like, nigga, the power is in the data, bro.
That's a
So
fact.
like while everybody be on
That's a
the
fact.
internet debating and
guessing.
I just pull up their
Yeah.
information and I see what the fuck's going on. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. I see we're trending up, trending
Yeah.
down, or it's nothing. It's just conversation
Yeah.
without execution and movement. But I never take nothing like that. When I look at a talented artist and I see that they're not able to move that scale, it just lets me know how much effort they're putting into their marketing. It has nothing to do with their fucking talent.
That's
you know
a
what I'm talking
fact.
about? Like,
That's a fact.
I completely separate those two. But when it comes to competing in the marketplace, yes, I'm very competitive and I will be more technical and analytical.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all that subjective shit, but because also too, it helps you streamline where the focus should be to create the tipping point. Because when one nigga get on, usually subsequently he'll affect 5 niggas that affect 5 niggas that 5 niggas. But once we're spreading everything so thin in the sense of like everybody trying to get these 20 motherfuckers on when half of them already fuck with each other. If Rob Lowe the Star was to get on, please believe you would see Miss Kush in a different situation.
Exactly.
If I was to get on, you gonna see a lot of people I fuck with in a different situation. But I feel like sometimes we're not as strategic when it comes to support. Because just because we're trying to get this motherfucker through the door right now because he done spent 300,000, because the radio done picked him up, because he got this look. It's not saying I don't fuck with y'all, but it's like, let's get this nigga to where he need to go and then move on. I feel like that's why with the KSC Music Awards, you see all the same fucking names all the goddamn time. But ain't nobody hit it yet.
Yeah.
So again, I'm like, if you can't create leverage off platforms, off your names, off your collaborations, it's just an indication of bad business. You ain't figured it out yet. You feel me?
I love that. I love what. So I guess because I want to be careful with my words because I don't want to come off too hypercritical. But we working through it. You know what I'm saying? We talking through it. Do you think that like NKC, because like you said something, your audience, you have an audience outside of Kansas City. You probably have more impact and influence outside of Kansas City, as does Herb the Phenom, as does Casey Young Boss. I think he may be half and half, right? Why do you think that is? Is that a mentality thing? Because for me, from my vantage point, it seems to always have been like this, even since the 90s. There's some people that it's different for Rich. It was different for Tone. There's a few,
Right.
but it almost seems like if you don't pander, if you don't acquiesce to Kansas City, if you don't just talk to them and just be 100% Kansas City and what they understand Kansas City, then it's like they kind of disconnect with it. If you know, because me and was talking about it. He was like the red and yellow, right? He did the song for Kansas City. They fuck with it. We love it. But then when he does some other shit that, you know, maybe is like a major sound, not a Kansas City sound, it's like, nah, we Kansas City. Like, is that a real thing or am I seeing it wrong?
I think that's a real thing.
And I'm saying, and the reason I asked you is because you said data, right? So this ain't just me talking. This ain't just me guessing. Does the data support that you see?
Yes. And I feel like because I feel like initially there's been a misconception on what the KC sound is. And I feel like I used to give it up. They would say we had the mob sound, or like
That's a
they would
fact.
say Fat Tone or Rich the Factor, but that's an isolated pocket because if you go fucking 30 minutes outside of that city, they sound completely different. Kansas music from the Missouri side and the Kansas City side is so fucking eclectic and it's so different. And like me and LB be talking about this all the time. Like, bro, once we step outside our circles, the things that we find are so different, so multi-layered. But I do feel like we stereotype ourselves and we dumb ourselves down. But what I always tell people with that is to not be discouraged, because at the end of the day, any Missouri nigga and any Kansas nigga, despite the fact of whether they like it, taste, once you go out and get results, everybody respect it. Because it's like, what else can you say to that? Or they just not gonna say nothing at all.
That's a fact.
That it ain't gonna be the hate. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Either they not gonna say nothing, or it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it up to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Not
saying?
saying nothing just as bad though.
Yeah.
As the hate.
Yeah, because that type of hate that brews internally in you,
Yeah.
where you can't give it up to a
No,
nigga.
but I'm gonna tell you what
That
they
shit
do.
self-inflicted.
Well, hold on. I'm
It's
gonna tell you what they do. What they do.
You're killing yourself, boy.
Let me tell you what they do, bro. What they do is they say, nah, that ain't Kansas City. You know what I mean? He ain't Kansas City. When you start thinking and moving and accomplishing things outside of it, they say, that ain't Kansas City. He ain't representing Kansas City. It's like they want you to stay here with me.
Yeah.
Don't scale. Don't get bigger. Don't fuck the rest of the world. Stay here with us.
And that shit, that whole statement is an oxymoron, because how you gonna tell that to the 12,000 people that listen to me in Atlanta? Because that was their first introduction to Kansas City music.
Yeah.
Because they know I'm a nigga from Kansas City.
So-
they hear my shit. They say, this is what, come on.
And that's that. So this goes back to my saying. So hold on. This goes back to my saying though, right?
Come on.
This is why I say what you did, right? You did exactly what I did, what Tech did, what others did. What we did was we put Kansas City on our back, and we went out to the world and represented and introduced them to it. But what they expect us to do is turn our back on the world and just talk to Kansas City. We can't represent like that. We can't. At that point, it's just a pep rally. Think about doing this. Think about you in high school, you're doing the pep rally. Yeah, let's get them. Let's get them. Let's go. Yeah, team. And then you never go play the game. You never go get in the game.
Yeah, that is a very dangerous mentality to get caught up into. And I just stray away from it, because it's just like the nigga that's the best hooper at the school but never played in the district.
Yeah.
Or never played
That's what I'm talking about.
never played regionally.
Yeah.
It's like, nigga, so you just want to be the best nigga in your school? What about when you graduate?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like you think I want to be necessarily just the hottest nigga in Kansas living in Atlanta? Bitch, I'm trying to take over the South. Fuck,
That's
you
right.
talk about.
Exactly.
Niggas on my jack every day. Bro, when you come back to Kansas City, bitch, I'm focused on a whole nother region right now. Like, I've done the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done enough to be established and for niggas to know what's going on, but it's going to require more. That line of thinking will never yield a successful business model, because simply, if you started a fucking bakery today, you telling me you only gonna sell these motherfucking cupcakes to your mom and your cousin? You think you gonna get rich off your mom and your cousin?
Exactly.
And all the niggas you went to school with. So how you gonna blow up in music when you're just circumventing only to the niggas that already know you?
Right.
What about the ones that don't?
Right.
Because they're gonna have a biased perspective on you no matter what. Just like the niggas I went to school with. Yeah, I'm Dewey da Don, but to them, that's James fucking Harris, nigga. I went to school with him.
Right.
So automatically, it might not even that they trying to hate. Subconsciously, your perspective is different because you feel like you know me.
Right.
Versus, bro, swear to God, bro. And this shit has been weird for me, but like in Gwinnett, like my marketing shit, but like, bro, I be in the gas station and motherfuckers be like, you got someone with TikTok? Like, you doing the God, ain't you? And then they'll pull up their phone, be like, I got your shit on my playlist. Nigga, blowing my mind. They not, hey, hey James, da da da. I know you from, nigga, all they know me from music. And then nigga, I get in the car, call my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, they spotted me out here. You know what I'm saying? I think it's starting to work. So, but that's the type of feeling that I want. I don't, you know, I mean, yo,
That's why I
niggas gonna
fuck
tell
with
you
your-
good for so long.
That's why I fuck with your movement, you know, because me and you had conversations. We've actually talked shop on Facebook Live.
Fact.
And that's why I was like, damn, he know what he doing. I love that part. Talk about your collaboration with N9ne and how that came about.
So, man, that was actually like at a funny point in my music career because I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I slick quit. I quit fucking rapping, but like how we talked earlier offline, when I was talking about how I create, I always create in bulk. So that's in everything. So like even just a couple months ago, I cooked up 3 albums, but